Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. So today we are going to be unstuffing our wallet for all of the categories that we spent this week, as well as a few binders that we spent out of that we're unprepared for. So let's pull out our wallet. So today is Sunday, and I hope everybody is having a good weekend. So one thing that I neglected to put on here was that I actually spent $2 on a Slurpee. So, well, like a Frosty from Circle K. So I'm going to take $2 out of my fast food envelope, and give me 1 second because I actually forgot that I have some change on my cash tray. So let me grab my cash tray, my cash tray with the change on it so that we can make change because I know we're going to need to. 1 second. Okay, so I am back and we have 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 20, 5, 35, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. So $150 to make change because I know, like, for example, in our date night category, we have $200 in there, but we did not spend it all. So I am going to have to break it. Okay. Let me just figure out. There we go. Okay, so like I was saying, I spent $2 at Circle K. So I will put $2 back in the cash tray, and then these two are just going to go back into my fast food fund. And I do still have, I believe, $11 left for the month in fast food, but I do need to stuff that from my next paycheck. So anyway, for my husband's fast food for his work lunches, he was over. So he did end up spending $50.16. Part of that is because we are in transition of moving to our new house. And so I haven't really been buying very many groceries. And so me and him have kind of been eating out. And I counted some of that towards groceries, but some of it was him eating out. So I actually did it through work lunch. So I am just going to put the whole 25 in. And there will be no rollover. So for date night here, we spent $181. So that leaves us with $18 left over. So I'm going to put these hundreds in here. Excuse me, Emmett. And we will pull out 10, 15, 16, 17, $18 for our rollover, which I will put right in the front. Emmett's gonna go off screen, but he's still here. There we go. All right, let's do the next category, which is gas. So gas is, we spent $31.43 out of our 40, which was me filling up my car, and then my husband put a little bit of gas in the Nissan to show it to his coworker, which still has not sold, so we'll see. So we're gonna put 5, 6, 7, and 8. I may just have to list it on like Facebook Marketplace or something, but I'm just waiting to do that because we're so busy with the house right now. So okay, so for date, we already did date. Let's see, we're at rideshare now. So $15.27 is what we spent, which was just a ride to and from the pickleball place. So I am going to put the 10 in here, and then we'll put the 20 in here, and we can take a 5 back into the rollover. And so for drinks, we did not actually spend any in our drinks. We didn't go to the liquor store and buy any. And we just had a couple beers, which came out of date night. Um, and then we also had drinks on our anniversary, but that will come out of our anniversary fund, which is in the back end events. So we're going to just leave that in there. It's not going to roll over. Bubbles, we will get into that in just a moment. Grocery. So I spent $44.75, which was me getting takeout 2 days, and then I got donuts for like our whole my mom, me, Donovan, and which is my stepdad, and my husband for when we were working on the house. So $44.75. So I'm going to put back 50 and take 5, and now the other 35 is going to go into the rollover spot here. Okay, for now. And then let's see. So Sam's Club, I did not go to the wholesale. I didn't go to Costco again. I just have not had time. So household had 400 in it. I ended up spending 317. So 300 of it was spent in cash to get the dumpster. And then 1729 was on cleaning supplies and dust masks for when we pulled the carpet up. So I am going to break this, and so I'm gonna actually keep that in this folder. So I'm gonna put $82. Let's do 83 because it's 71 cents. So $83 back into this envelope here because I may still need to buy more stuff for the house, so I don't really want to roll this over. I kind of want to keep this fund as like a sinking fund. So, I said 83. Okay, so there is $83 going back into household for next week. And now events. So this is where the money for our anniversary went from. And my stepdad, I put an extra 20 in here. I didn't mean to do that. My stepdad's dad gave us $20 as an anniversary gift when we came over to the house. On our anniversary, we went over for a minute to see my mom, and he actually gave us $20 to help us celebrate. So we ended up using that 20 on drinks. So we spent 170 and 22 cents. So we're just going to put the whole 170 in there. So that was super nice of him. So we bought him a thank you card, but my husband just ended up using cash from like his tips to do that. So you don't kind of see that on here. I don't usually list what he uses like his cash tips for. Okay, so the last section here is bills for the wallet portion. So let's see here. This is kind of a mess because I put it in there. So we spent $497.03. So let me just organize this really quick. Okay, so this does include my car payment, which I just used like our bank buffer to pay it, and then I'm just going to put this in the bank to replenish the bank buffer that's in my bank savings. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 95, 6, and 7. So perfect. We can put this back in the cash tray. Okay, so now what we're going to do is if we go down to this section here, Oh gosh, if I can just separate these a little bit better. There we go. If we go down to this section here, all of the things that are red and purple is things that I did not expect to spend money on, so they were not put in the wallet. This 300 here, we had to have them empty the dumpster and then bring it back because we filled it so quickly. And so I paid another $300, which I took out of our buffer envelope from our emergency fund binder. So the first one that we're going to get into, which I will explain a little bit, is vet bills. I'm home from work earlier this week, and my kitty was really not doing well at all, and he's been having some minor issues, like bowel issues in the past, and I had taken him to the vet, and they told me that it could be Crohn's disease or it could be colon cancer, like some kind of cancer of the bowels. And so they gave me options. So like I switched up his food and started feeding him different foods and incorporating more fiber into his diet and things. And when I got home from work one of the days, he was like yowling and just really not doing well. And so I took him in, and they said that they could do testing, but that it would be very expensive. And because they suspected he was 15, I ended up making the decision to put him down. So I no longer have my kitty, which is really sad. And I'm kind of heartbroken about it, but I didn't want him to suffer and be in pain. And if it was cancer, he was so old, I don't know if the radiation would have even been good for him. So I did end up spending $115 for the vet visit plus putting him down, and they were very sweet and offered to make me a paw print for him, like a ceramic paw print. So I'm gonna go pick up that next week from the vet. So I'm gonna put, so I put it had $100 placeholder. So I'm just gonna put that in the back, and then I'm gonna put the $15 because it had 130, or sorry, would it be 15? Yeah, it had 130, it was 115. So $15 is going to go into the rollover. So I'll put that in there now. Sorry for kind of the depressing story, but I just thought that I would explain that. I did post on my community tab, but if you don't subscribe, then you wouldn't have seen that and known what that was about. So okay, next we're going to go into this binder here, which is our excess binder. And we went to lunch before we went to pickleball with my mom. And so we spent $65 as kind of like a thank you for her helping us on the house and such. So it was $65.58. So I'm going to take 66. So let me do 20, 40, 60, 80 into here. And 80 minus 66 is 14. So 1, 2, 3, $4 and a 10. And then this doesn't roll over because it's more like a sinking fund. So we just keep it going. So we're going to put the $100 placeholder and the $14 into family again. Okay, and then the last one that we have to unstuff is in our home funds binder. And I spent $483 on some cleaning supplies for the house, which I guess I could have taken out of renovations, but I just did it out of cleaning. So we'll just break one of these 20s and put 10, 15 back in there, because this one also, most of these binders are like sinking funds, so I don't put them in the rollover. So 50, 70, 85. Mostly what goes in the rollover is just like our variable, like our rotating variable expenses, things that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Things that we use every week, I call like our rotating variables. So those are the ones that go into there. So the last thing that we're going to do is, I'm just going to move that back. So because we owe this one $25 because my husband was over $25 for his work lunch, I'm going to take $25 out of this here. There we go. So that will make up for this. And then I'm not going to worry about 22 cents. And I did already factor that in when I wrote this out. So that's why we had $4.97. So I don't have to worry about that there. So let's actually count this first. Okay, so we'll just count this really quick. So $100 placeholder here. And then I'm just going to move our rollover right now. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, and 800. Plus 100 is 950, 1,000. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 45, and 46. So $1,346 that we are taking back to the bank. Oh, get in there. So now for our rollover, we're going to count this here. We have 10, 20, 35, 45, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 61. So $61 is going to go into the rollover. So let me grab the Dream Home Binder. And then the very back envelope here is our rollover. What I think I want to do here for the sake of my envelope here in the back is condense this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll just put that in the front for sake of ease. And 10, 20. Okay, so we are back to our $61. Let's check what our rollover has in it. So $100 that I stole from one of the other. I basically stole that out of the buffer envelope to steal the 100 that was in here to pay for the dumpster, basically. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 150, 151 plus 100 is 251. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, so I'll take, I haven't yet, but in the Ally, I have the $100 still in the buffer. And I'm going to put that in one of my other categories that has $100. And then I will put the $100 cash in the rollover and take this out and replace it in whatever category I take the $100 that I put the buffer 100 in. If that makes any sense, I don't know, but it makes sense in my brain, so that's what we're going to do with that. And then this extra 20 that was in the date night came out of my wallet, so I'm actually going to put this back in my wallet. I didn't realize that that was my buffer money, and I put basically all the money in my wallet because when Jerry handed me the 20, my stepdad's dad handed me the 20, I just stuck it right in my wallet. And I thought that was the only money in there, but I must have had a 20 in there already. So I think that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and stay lucky. Bye bye.